Hello and welcome to Sweet 16, where we play 16 minutes of the sweetest gameplay. My name is Harry, and joining me today is
Jordan.
And Joe.
And today we're looking at Rollerdrome.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I absolutely love this game. Joe, did you enjoy your playthrough?
I loved it too. I'm a big fan of anything that's very snappy and mechanically satisfying.
Yeah.
And this ticked a lot of boxes for me.
It's like a perfect blend of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater with a bit of shooting in there, bullet time.
Yeah, I would say, did you ever play the Jet Set Radio games?
Oh, Jet Set Radio,
It's very much like that with the cell shading and the skating. Mixed with Max Payne, I think would be my comparison. Like if I was going to mash two games together to make this, it's Max Payne and Jet Set Radio.
And of course the gameplay run of this is sort of optimizing your runs, doing cool tricks. You've got essentially it's two categories of tricks. Hey, you've got your your grabs, and your grinds.
Grabs, grinds, flips. I guess you got wall rides.
Yeah.
That's kind of it. And like the main mechanic is obviously shooting people, and you got a slow-mo. But to reload your gun, you have to do tricks.
Yes, to get ammo.
So to get more ammo.
Yeah, that's right.
You have to do tricks.
And how do you activate the bullet time?
It's just left trigger on control. You just hold it down.
So like if they attack you essentially, and you time it right, you enter this sort of extra reflex mode in your...
There's like a super bullet time.
Super bullet time.
I don't know what benefit that really gives you, other than it just looks cool and maybe gives you some more points.
I think it gives you more damage as well.
Maybe a longer slow-mo, more damage maybe, yeah. So a super reflex,
there
we
it
just
is.
triggered it.
Yeah, perfect. And yeah, I haven't finished it, but I'm deep into this game. I love... Because I have a really short attention span. So games where I can just pick up, do a run, try and get as many points as I can.
Yep.
Unlock challenges, which is really cool. I just absolutely loved it.
Yeah, every level's only maybe 4 or 5 minutes long max. And usually, this is probably about halfway through the game. They get pretty tricky. It took me a few tries to actually beat some of these tougher levels.
Yeah.
And as you say, you kind of have to really maximize your run, learn where enemies are spawning, what kind of enemies, and just really focus on not letting your bullets run out, basically. Because very often you don't have a lot of ammo in any of your guns.
No.
So if you're not doing tricks, you'll just find yourself all of a sudden completely boned.
And you've got to do just a bunch of tricks to get that ammo back. But speaking of guns, there are 4 main weapons that you can switch from.
Correct, yes.
And you start with the dual pistols, which are weaker, have a bit more ammo, a bit of range.
Yep.
But each weapon sort of is like an archetype, isn't it? Like you've got your pistols, your grenade launcher, a railgun sniper type thing, and what am I missing? You've also got
Shotgun.
a shotgun, close range, and of course all the different enemies. They need to be attacked by specific weapons to be really effective.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's one enemy which is he has a shield. So as soon as you shoot him, he puts his shield up. So you kind of have to use your pistols in slow-mo to, if you time it right, you can get him down pretty much in one go.
I'll get all the entire clip out.
Entire clip out in one slow-mo.
Right.
But if you screw it up and just get one shotgun shot at him, he'll put his shields up.
And then you can't hurt him for a little bit.
Exactly, you can't do anything.
Down. Yeah.
And this guy shooting the blue beam, they teleport from one hit. So again, they're kind of similar thing. You want to do as much damage as possible
there's a teleport.
before they teleport away.
That's right. So it really is, it's like, I love the maximizing your... It's like almost rhythmic, and there's a routine that you want to work out with the guns. You're like almost composing your run. Like, how do I trigger a bullet time to be able to kill this enemy with this gun, all the while doing like a 720... flip through the air. It's just so cinematic too in its tricks, I feel.
Yeah, for sure. And it's got a lot of those lovely little bonuses you can do. So for example, this one, if you time it right, you get that sort of extra double damage. The shotgun has sort of like a Gears of War reflex line. It'll if you aim it, it'll have a little bar that goes into the middle, and you get a powerful slug shot that's super accurate.
You got to time it. There it is. You
There
have
it
to
is,
time
there
it
it is.
perfectly. Yes.
So it's just using every weapon is really satisfying.
Yeah. Now, Jordan, did you play this game and did you like it?
I did play this game, and I'll be honest, this gameplay looks very different to the gameplay I had during my time with it. I didn't love this game. I really
didn't like it?
I really respect it, I appreciate it, and
Well, get
everything
out.
you're saying. Everything you're saying.
Rollerdrome fans only.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Seriously, I don't know why you're here.
I'm going back to silence. No, I appreciate everything that's going on and everything you've said. It didn't click for me. Like the controls inherently, the locomotion of it just didn't really work for me at all. I found it a bit overwhelming at times, especially seeing all these new unit types and weapons. I'm like, that's too much for me to get my head around. And one little thing I noticed, because you don't really stack in this game at any point. Like, nothing stops your...
You can't stack.
Yeah, which, I don't know, for some reason it put me off. I don't know why.
Or you don't like it that you're constantly moving?
I think it's because I'm so used to Tony Hawk.
Right.
That something that felt like it, but it's a bit different, just felt a bit off to me. But that's such a minor little nitpick. I loved like the variety of levels from what I saw in the game, but I just knew I didn't have the skill or the wherewithal to progress in it. So I'm going to be honest, I refunded the game. I'm so sorry.
That's all right. I mean, not everything's for everyone. Not everything's for everyone.
I mean, with Cult of the Lamb out as well, I'm like, which one do I pick?
That's true. I mean, yeah, time is a limited resource. But, I mean, this is the other, I guess, disclaimer of the game. Like, it doesn't... Like, the pace of the game doesn't really switch up. It's pretty much always, like, go, go, go.
Yeah, it's always full on.
Yeah, and you... If it doesn't... This kind of game, if it doesn't appeal to your sort of sensibilities, then maybe it's not for you. But for me, I just felt the adrenaline rush, the addictive nature of, like... Do you ever get to a point, Joe, where you cleared almost every challenge of a level, and it lets you proceed to the next one, but you just had to complete everything?
Well, I mean, I wasn't like completionist about it, but to actually make progress in the campaign, you do have to tick off quite a few of the challenges.
Yes.
So I would, get to I'd finish all 4 levels in the starting stage. It's like, well, you still need to do 10 challenges to actually get to the next batch of levels.
Yes.
And then at that point, it is fun to go back and, try and perfect everything.
Yeah, after you've kind of figured it out. Because what I learned as well in my playthrough is you can sort of go at it without thinking or planning far ahead. But after you play the level like a bunch of times, it is kind of important, like you said before, to know where the enemies are. For this level in particular, what I ended up doing was I would save the snipers till the end, because they can always give you a perfect dodge from almost anywhere in the map, and then you use that to get the double damage for when you're killing like the rocket launchers or something that you need a bit of extra damage with. And that's super important, because one of the challenges, I think, of this level is you have to complete it in 2.5 minutes.
Yeah.
What, this level?
This entire level.
Which you're like 7 minutes into so far.
Yeah, it's so hard. It's literally the hardest challenge, I think, of this game, is to finish it in a... But you can.
Okay.
You just have to optimize everything.
Yep.
Yeah. Have you seen any speedrunners or anything do this? Because that would be...
Not yet. I almost don't want to.
I don't want to see people be way better than me straight away. I want to,
Imagine how I feel right now.
Well, I mean, it's an interesting point. This is a kind of game that is quite tough. And I think a lot of people might be turned off by that high difficulty wall.
Yeah.
Like you were, Jordan.
Yeah.
And I think it's not something that people should feel bad about. I think you kind of have to give yourself a little bit of leeway to go, okay, well, this doesn't feel great to me. I don't enjoy getting my butt kicked. But if you just give it another chance, maybe, Jordan, maybe play a little bit. Just, try some different tactics, mix it up. Sometimes once you get into a good run and you go, okay, there's the fun, is actually that challenge that is putting me off at first is actually really satisfying once I can beat it.
I think a big part of the challenge is, because with Tony Hawk, you've got a linear focus of you need to do tricks, right? And the tricks branch out into different kinds or whatever. But in this, you've got tricks and shooting on top, which is just, it's almost you have to split your brain into 2 halves.
Totally, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think something similar to Tony Hawk is, notice most Tony Hawk levels are all linear. They go down, you progress through a level. This is definitely in a way like an arena shooter.
Yes.
So you're hanging out, just doing the same thing, and if you screw something up, you have to double back around. And that also extends to the enemies. I've noticed a lot of them are very spongy. So I would always, in the early levels, my pistols would always run out of ammo. I have to do a trick to come back and finish the same person off.
Yeah.
If it was more like a downhill constant and you're just trying to hit as many people as you can to get the highest score, I would love that.
Yeah.
But having to retread and missing the same person 3 times or having to reload 3 or 4 times to kill one big enemy frustrated me a lot.
I mean, I found there was a certain technique or tactic which worked for me, was just go. Don't try and cycle back to that guy. Just keep running around, do tricks, get the next guy in front of you, do a lap. Don't try and be like, okay, well, there's one guy behind me, I'm really going to focus on him, because then you just end up doing that kind of turning around, looping, and then you fixate, and then you hit a wall and you lose your momentum, and you're like, well, I'm not feeling it.
Well, do you know what? But the other thing, to back up ROLLERDROME, I know it's my bias, but to back it up, I think the game really rewards you for when you do, while you're shooting, you're tricking at the same time. You do have to activate those 2 parts of your brain at the same time, but it's the only item I had in my head as I played was be cool as I shoot these people. And
Yeah.
as I was tricking, it would then reward me. I'd get more ammo, I would get more damage,
Yeah.
and so it was just stuff that I always wanted to do anyway, which is just do a flip,
And that's just
slow
how you,
down
like-
time. Like what? Look what just
Yeah, it's a
Joe just did
slow-mo
then.
grenade launcher,
Like a
that's
1080
badass.
flip while you then slowed down time and shot him in the face with a rocket launcher. Amazing.
That is video game.
yeah.
Yeah.
And-
And I love the style of this as
Yes,
well. Like, there's
yes,
something
yes.
about that 70s roller skating, blood sport. I just love it.
And the music as well. How did you feel about the sort of narrative component of the game, Joe?
Well, I still haven't finished it. Yeah, I mean, I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. It's kind of unobtrusive. You just have these little sort of vignettes of like rooms you walk through, kind of like backstage behind the competition. There's sort of little notes you can read about.
And it's first person, right?
Yeah, those sections are first person. I mean, I like that. I like that they add some world building to it. It makes the world feel a little bit more believable.
Would you miss it if it wasn't in the game?
Probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not. But
That's
I
what I thought.
appreciate that it's there. I think it helps the world feel more interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if it has any shortcomings, it would be that the narrative isn't too strong. If you could, I didn't care too much about Kara Hassan as much as just being cool and rad. Like if you'd
That's the
swapped,
main character?
yeah.
Yeah, I didn't
If
care
you'd
at all
switched
about
her, if you switched her out with another, you'd still be doing flips and everything. But I did like that there is a bit of context there. The idea that this is like a blood sport, but there's this sort of government initiative behind it, and then like an uprising and X, Y, and Z. That was kind of cool, but yeah, you wouldn't miss it.
No, and it's also set in the far future year of, I think, 2030.
Oh, the far future of 2030. Yeah. Which is cool. Like it's all the tech that we kind of have now. I mean, you could do this now. You shouldn't.
I mean, I snipe at people on rollerblades all the time.
Yeah. You shouldn't, but you could.
This could be a real blood sport.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't wait to see it.
I mean, and I'm all for blood sports in games. To be in games.
Yeah,
in games. I mean, maybe real life. I might be more into sports if there was, a little bit more like consequence.
A bit more bloodshed, yeah,
a
of
bit more
course.
bloodshed and death. But
What I love is that, she's got guns and they're like, yeah, kill all these players you have to eliminate. But they're also like, hey, here's a helmet. We don't want you to get
safety
too
first.
hurt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't want to graze your knees.
Here's a helmet, no elbow pads. Oh, actually, no, she does have elbow pads.
She's kind of like forearm pads. They're not really on the elbow, are
But
they?
no Kevlar. They couldn't. No.
And she's actually killing people? Like they're soldiers or are they robots?
They're called house players.
Yes. And the goal is of every run to eliminate all the house players.
Okay, so you're probably not killing them because who would volunteer for that?
Well, I mean, I think it is explained in the narrative. To be honest, I was skipping over all the notes. I was like, I don't want to read.
Fair.
I just want to get into.
here to
the
roll.
I'm here to roll.
Yeah.
But I assume some of that stuff is mentioned because I remember reading a little bit about insurance plans for house players. So I think they do die. I think
Yeah,
that is
it's
the
like a
implication.
Yikes.
it's like a government-funded sort of thing. So you imagine that they do get a lot of compensation for it. And well, they're trying to take you out as well. That's like a big part of it too.
Yeah.
So and here are all the challenges.
Yep.
It's about 10 or 12.
And they're different per level?
They're different per
Yeah.
level, although there's a few that stay the same. So there's always collect all 5 tokens. There's always do a specific trick near this thing. There's usually a beat it in a certain time. There's usually 2 scores to beat. And then the other ones will kind of be kill someone while roll riding between this specific point of this level.
Or one of the other hard ones is do the entire level in one combo. Which,
Wow.
Yeah, you have to just keep. But it rewards you by the way to keep your combo meter up is you have to keep eliminating players. So and to do that, you got to trick and get ammo. It's all. And of course, then there's these boss encounters that
Yeah.
you've got here as well.
Yeah.
Which I had so much fun because it's a boss you have to eliminate, but it's also a skate ring. It's got a quarter pipe on there. Of course it does.
I'm kind of not afraid of the future anymore.
No, it'll be fine. It'll be radical.
Throw acting. Yeah, okay, interesting. Is it because you can't really lock onto anything on this boss, you just have to get on top of it and launch grenades?
It just has a couple of weak spots you kind of got to get on top of.
And it's got phases and everything, and
Okay.
You can perfect dodge stuff. So, and I haven't encountered another boss yet, but I imagine.
Yeah, I feel like this was pretty much almost the exact halfway point. So I imagine
Yeah.
there's probably another one right at the end. But that's just a guess.
Yeah.
We got there, yeah.
Okay, well, it's cool that they're trying to mix it up and they do have a bit of pacing change when you're versing a big boss in an arena.
Yeah,
Rather than
and
just constant ads.
It does. I mean, I like that they didn't overdo it with like, oh, there's going to be a massive mech boss every at the end of every act or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
It mixes it up enough to keep you interested.
Yeah, sick. So you both will continue playing. You'll finish this game.
I think I'll
100%.
finish it.
I think I'll try to 100% it.
Look out.
Well, I mean, there's even once you finish the campaign, there's I forget what it's called.
Alpha Blood.
Alpha Blood, that's the one.
Okay.
Which is an extra mode that basically it's a hard mode. It's the whole campaign again, but with more ads, tougher ads, more damage. So if it was already hard enough for you
yeah, I was
in
gonna
basic
say,
mode, probably hard modes.
That's a hard no.
That's a hard no.
for
Yeah.
James.
Hard no for hard mode.
Wow.
So that was Sweet 16. Let me know if there's anything that you want us to have a look at. Are you playing Rollerdrome? Do you like it? Do you love blood sports? And I'll catch you next time. Bye.